campus, the women's volleyball team continues their Big Ten dominance following a sweep of the Indiana Hoosiers.
Plus, see how one sporting community is reaching new heights.
Your UI7 Newsbreak starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, this is your UI7 Newsbreak.
Hello, and welcome to this special sports edition of UI7 Newsbreak. I'm Sarah Allen.
And I'm Lou Shikoda.
For the first time since 1945, the Chicago Cubs will be playing in the World Series.
UI7's Hunter Warning went out to see how fans celebrated the momentous occasion.
Celebration like no other took place outside of Wrigley Field on Saturday evening after the Cubs beat the Dodgers 5-0 to secure a spot in the World Series for the first time in 71 years. Even some University of Illinois students made the trip to the north side to take part in the mayhem.
Saturday I went to a bar in Wrigleyville. I waited an hour in line to get in, paid $40 to cover, but it was worth it to see the Cubs make it to the World Series.
It was insane. People were like climbing all the street lights and like going crazy.
And with good reason. The Cubs haven't played in the World Series since World War II and haven't won it all since 1908, when the Ottoman Empire still existed. But for most fans, they're just happy to see their team in this position.
I don't know what else I could expect. Like, this is the biggest thing. Like, I don't need a birthday present for the rest of my life if the Cubs win the World Series. Like, that's more than fine.
In Champaign, I'm Hunter Warning, UI7 Newsbreak.
And before the Cubs played their first game in the World Series last night, Wrigley Field got revamped in preparation for the series. On Monday, the Chicago Cubs posted this video on their Twitter page with a tweet saying, "Arts and crafts time at the friendly confines, #FlyTheW." In this time-lapse video, you can see crew members painting the field with a big World Series logo. This created excitement from the fans as Twitter user Everhart Music commented, "Never actually thought I'd see it. It's beautiful."
Once World Series action got underway, Cubs fans all made sure to have their eyes on the game. Many fans chose to head to local bars to take in the action. For a fan like Austin Karoff, watching the Cubs game has always been a family affair.
Great grandpa was a Cubs fan, grandpa was a Cubs fan, dad's a Cubs fan, I've been a Cubs fan, so on and so forth.
Unfortunately for him, the Cubs fell short in their first World Series game in 71 years. Despite a great showing from previously injured Kyle Schwarber, the Cubs couldn't score a run all night and dropped Game 1 6-0. Game 2 will be tonight at 6.
The Indians took home field advantage for the World Series since the American League won the All-Star game back in July. The series started off in Cleveland last night, where the Indians took care of business. Gameplay will resume tonight at 6 p.m., then the two teams head to Wrigley Field for Games 3, 4, and possibly 5 if necessary. If the best-of-7 series calls for a 6th and 7th game, those will be played back in Cleveland. Games 3 to 7 have a scheduled first pitch at 7 p.m.
And if you are looking to get tickets to the upcoming games, then you better get out your checkbooks. Baseball fanatics will be spending a fortune to see the Fall Classic in person. The two franchises have experienced World Series championship droughts for a combined 174 years. A ticket near home plate at Progressive Fields costs more than $1,800 per seat. Cub fans may want to look for plane tickets and fly to Cleveland if they want to see a game. Finding a seat in a similar vicinity at Wrigley Field costs $14,000. Wrigley's bleacher seats tickets are selling around 100 times more than regular season face value.
I'm looking at these numbers again. $1,600 a seat
Right?
in Cleveland, $40,000 at Wrigley. Would you spend that kind of money?
Oh, man, I don't know if I could. They were just like so much money. $40,000?
It's
That is out of this world.
Yeah, because you're a fan of the Cardinals, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So would you spend $40,000 to see the Cardinals play?
It's a tough call. That's a lot of money. I can't believe it.
I really wonder if the viewers feel that way, because I wouldn't spend that much for a White Sox game or a Blackhawks game or even a Bears game if they were in the Super Bowl.
$40,000? That's like a nice fancy car you could buy.
Right, especially if you're a season ticket holder. Because you got those for maybe, what, a couple $100?
Yeah.
You sell those $40,000 if you manage to pull that off.
You're making big bucks.
You're making big bucks, that's right. And it's it's absolutely crazy just
I
to
can't
see these
believe
numbers.
it.
$40,000. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Stay tuned. After the break, we share the results of Illini women's volleyball homestand last weekend.
Also, climb into UI7's coverage of a local bouldering gym's first competition.
Race. Love is love.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against the wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
The Illini started their dive season strong this past weekend, and one diver in particular had a little extra motivation than usual. UI7 Lauren Scafidi has more.
Freshman Lauren Lepeter represented the orange and blue in the first dive meet of the season this past Saturday.
I'm pretty happy with how I did. You know, I hit all my dives and I'm happy.
Lepeter scored a 223.3 on the 1 meter diving board and a 193.7 on the 3 meter diving board after working hard through a busy preseason with practices twice per day, Monday through Saturday. Lauren didn't miss a single practice.
She's not missing anything. Probably wouldn't let her either, but she's not the type of person who would want to do that and doesn't try to. She's a hard worker.
Lauren's coach isn't the only one to describe her as hardworking. Lauren's mother, Leonora Anton Lepeter, also describes her daughter as motivated, passionate, and persistent. Lauren credits her good work ethic to her biggest inspiration, her mother, who has also seen hard work pay off recently. Lauren's mom, who also happens to be a U of I graduate, just won a Pulitzer Prize for her and her team's investigative reporting on an 18-month project about violence in mental hospitals.
Her senior year, I spent like pretty much every night working at home, late into the night, and she saw that. But she works hard. She has the motivation and the drive. She has, something inside her that wants to do the best job she can on every single thing.
Lauren agrees seeing her mom work so diligently translates into her performance on the diving board.
She works really hard and she's always up like late, writing her stories and getting information. And so it makes me want to work hard and, make her proud.
In Champaign, I'm Lauren Scafidi, UI7 News.
The women's volleyball team served up a win against the Indiana Hoosiers Friday night. While the Fighting Illini shared the win with their fans, they also celebrated with some aspiring youngsters. The concessions were booming and the crowd was deafening as the U of I volleyball team crushed the Indiana Hoosiers, making it their third straight conference sweep. The team celebrated Kids Club Night, where they offered young volleyball players a chance to watch the game up close, as well as take part in activities throughout the evening. The number 22 ranked Illini look to continue their season this Friday against number 1 Nebraska.
Illini volleyball continued Big Ten play after its win against the Hoosiers Friday night. The team fell to Purdue on Saturday, splitting its Big Ten homestand. Caroline Welch led the way for Illini against Indiana, serving up 5 aces in the win. Jordan Poulter orchestrated more offense with 35 assists. Saturday night, the Purdue Boilermakers came to Champaign for an exhilarating 5-set match. Poulter again came out strong, dishing out 50 assists, and Katie Static displayed strong net play throughout the match. The effort wasn't enough for Illinois as they fell 3 sets to 2.
And while the state of Illinois is known for flat lands and cornfields, UI7's Dakota Carson tells us more about one sporting community whose members are seeking new heights.
About a year ago, Urbana Boulders found its home over on Cunningham Road and gives community members more than just a place to climb. Julie Sweet has been climbing for just about a year and found her fit here.
The more you come, the more people you meet, and the more addicted you get to facing the problems on the wall and figuring it out.
Bouldering itself has become a popular sport in the Champaign-Urbana community. Urbana Boulders owner Alex Bragg realized how much interest there was when he created the gym.
Bouldering is challenges. It's just it's either the height or it's like the difficulty of holding on to the grips. It teaches you to overcome it and how to overcome it too. And it's mostly about you against the wall.
This year marked the first annual Boneyard Bouldering Competition, where over 100 participants came out to encourage one another in a series of climbing events. For experienced climber Sean Heibel, Urbana Boulders have provided him with a place to call home.
Bouldering and climbing in general has given me the strongest sense of community and family that I've found as a young adult.
Urbana Boulders has created a community within the Champaign-Urbana area, but for climbers like Sweet, the gym has given her more than a physical outlet, but instead an environment to overcome her fears.
It's important to push ourselves, physically push ourselves, mentally push ourselves, and this environment is really supportive of that.
There you go.
So that's what got me really excited about climbing, is facing those fears and getting to the top. I just really enjoy facing my fears and trying to get over that and moving on and see how far I can push it.
In Urbana, I'm Dakota Carson, UI7 Newsbreak.
Those are some great stories. Would you ever try rock climbing, Sarah?
I have before, but I haven't in a really long time. But I just remember when I was little, like once I got to the top, it was really frightening and really scary. I remember I'd shake.
It was the heights, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the heights. It's nerve-wracking.
I used to be afraid of heights when I was little. I remember going to Six Flags, and my dad wanted me to go on the American Eagle. I'm sure you've been on there, as a lot of people have. And I was just crying in the line, literally crying. This is when I was like 6 or 7 years old. And by the time we got on the roller coaster, it was amazing. By the time we got off, I said to my dad, "Dad, let's go on that again, right now. Let's do that right now." And I think that was the moment when I finally got over my fear of heights. But speaking of heights, the Cubs have taken a big drop from the height they were on, haven't they? I mean, losing game 1, that's a tough game to lose, but yeah, you're going up against
I still can't believe they're in the World Series, though. Like, how great is that?
I can't
I'm
either.
not even a Cubs fan, but, like, I still, like, it's like, go Cubs, you know what I mean?
We're witnessing history.
Did you see that vine of Bill Murray crying when they won?
I did, and there were so many others.
Or
like
the girl that said she's going to have a Jägermeister after the game.
That was the
70-year-old woman.
Yeah, but she said, I thought she was, like, honestly, like, near 101 or something.
Oh, yeah, I
like
don't
that.
know. Yeah. She was old.
Yeah, she was old, yeah. She was definitely old. But that's all the time we have for this sports edition of UI7 Newsbreak. I'm Luke Shikoda.
And I'm Sarah Allen. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday at 3 p.m. For more updates, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at UI7 Newsbreak.
Thanks for watching, and have a great day.